I thought that the first 24 hours was going to be the hardest part after being deported, but honestly, it was the first week after reality hit me. My name is Tanya, and welcome back to Deported to Paradise. I got deported in July of 2023 after living in the United States for over 40 years. So please don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, and like. So I wanted to talk about the first week because I know that, like I said, that was really when I woke up and I was like, wow, this is not just temporary. This is where I'm going to live, and that was really scary and very depressing to me. Like it took a lot from me that first week to get up and do what I needed to do because I was just it was just so surreal. But I mean, you have to do what you have to do to survive. So um, I'm going to start with why I picked Puerto Vallarta. So because, I could have lived anywhere in Mexico, but I had a cousin, one of my favorite cousins, that was born in Monterrey, but lived in PV for 15 or 20 years. He was gay, and he passed away a few years ago from AIDS. So he lived here in PV, like I said, and I just thought that moving here would just make me feel closer to him, and it really does when I'm at the ocean or the beach or whatever. It's weird how it does make me feel closer. So that's that's the reason that I moved here uh, when I first got here to PV. So um, now in Monterrey, that was the first 24 hours. After that, me and my mom took a bus, like a Greyhound bus, uh, to Puerto Vallarta, and the bus was actually really comfortable. It took 24 hours for us to get from Monterrey to Puerto Vallarta, but I was in heaven. Like the seats were really comfortable. I had my mom next to me. I had my phone. So I was just happy to be free and next to my mother. So that was good. While we were on the bus, we had no idea where we were going to stay or anything. So we found a hostel. My mom found a hostel online, and she booked it for like 3 or 4 days. I can't even remember. And when we got there, so we left around 6 p.m. Monterrey, and we got to PV at about probably 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I don't even remember. So we sat at the bus station for a minute, and then we made our way to the hostel, which was right across from the Malecon. So and I think we ended up paying like $15 or $20 a day, and it was actually really nice. It was just a one room with, it was either a full or a queen size bed, probably a full, and it had a bathroom, which all the rooms didn't have bathrooms. This one did, and then a little uh, armoire type thing to put your clothes in, and I think that was it. I think that was it. But it was nice. It was clean. It was beautiful out. And when you left your room, it was just a really nice hostel. So we stayed there for a few days, and I've already told the story about how I found my apartment and my job. But I'm gonna go ahead and just retell it so that somebody that hasn't watched those videos knows. So on that first day that we got there, it was a Saturday, and we got there. We went to the hostel, and I was like, "Hey, mom, you want to go get something to eat?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I really wanted a burger. Hamburgers and French fries are my favorite. So we got out and we started walking. So the first restaurant was like enchiladas. The second one was tacos, and it was hot. So I was like, okay, mom, don't even worry about it. Let's just go to the next one, whether it's something I like or not. I mean, I'll find something that I like there. So it just so happened that we found this restaurant called Brooklyn's that did sell burgers. And they had air conditioner because not everybody runs the air conditioner. So we went in, and the lady, so nice. Her name is Morena. She has her restaurant. She goes like 6 months out of the year, and then on the downtime she goes back to the United States. So we went in, and we ordered, and we started talking to her, and we told her, we're here, we're looking for an apartment, a job, whatever. And so she was trying to help us look, and right then is when a lady with her daughter came in, and she knew Morena, and she was like, hey, Goya, do you know of anybody that's renting an apartment? And she's like, yeah, the landlord's renting the apartment upstairs for me. So it was like, okay, so we went right away. I think the next morning we went. We ended up getting that apartment. We just had to put a deposit, first month's deposit, last month's, and the rent, which was only $200 a month. So, I mean, it was tiny. It was an efficiency, but it was just me, and when my mom was there, it was me and my mom. So, so that was like, check, the apartment. Now I was like, do you know of anybody that's hiring, or have you heard, where should I go? And she's like, well, my old boss Lisa is probably hiring. They work at a call center. So I emailed Lisa, and sure enough, she's like, can you do an interview on Monday? I was like, yes. So we interviewed Monday, and I got the job. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's a place to live and a job within just a few days. Um, and even though I didn't like that job, I I met my best friend Lisa. Her and I became really close, and I met a couple of other young ladies, and that we are also close as well. So no matter what happened at that job, it was just good that I got to meet Lisa and her son. So that was the first few days. Now, in between those days, in between the job hunting and all that, we were trying to get furniture. So, for instance, the air conditioner, it's what is it called? A mini split. We had to get one of those. They were $500. So that, and then I was like, Mom, all we need right now is the mini split, a bed, and what else did I say? Utensils and stuff. Uh, of course, we got other things, but that was the main thing that we needed. So we were able to find a mini split. It was $500. I think I said it was less before, but it was actually $500. Uh, and then we found a couch that was really nice. There were some Canadians that were moving that were just trying to get rid of the couch. So it was a two-seater love seat, but it was in really good condition until we got a hold of it. But and then the bed we found from one of Goya's friends. So everything just kind of fell into place, as far as the furniture goes. And then I think it was later on that week when I met Tupac, my little baby. My mom said that um, he was running, and he almost got run over and landed in some glass. And she picked him up, asked me if I wanted him, and I was like, I mean, I guess, even though I didn't want a puppy, yeah, he's been with us ever since the very, very beginning. So um, it was just, that first week was just so, so surreal. I can't even I can't even explain how how I felt. I mean, it was, you go from living in the US for 40 years, you know, then you go to prison, then you go to the deportation immigration center, and then they drop you off at the border. I hadn't been to Mexico in years, like 15 or 20 years, even to visit. So, much less live. I didn't know how things were done. I just didn't know anything, honestly. And my mom knew a little bit more, but she also hadn't been here in a while. Um, but I mean, like I said, you have to do what you have to do to survive, and you just kind of figure it out little by little. But it was one of the hardest weeks of my life. So if you're going through something like this, just know that that feeling of being lost doesn't last forever. It feels like it will last forever, but it doesn't. You really start to figure things out little by little, and eventually, you find your way, but not without not without some pain. At least for me, it was. I had to go through depression, anger, kind of like a grieving process. Anger, depression. Then it gets better. Then it got. I mean, it was just back and forth for me, and it's still like that to this day. So a lot of people ask me, how long did it take you to be okay and to be, not depressed? And I'm like, I'm still going through it. Like, there's no set time, So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. All right. Thank you. Y'all have a great week. Bye.